Hello, friends. If you made a surprise visit to my kitchen this morning, I bet many of you would be shocked. You wouldn't find a bowl of watery oatmeal, you wouldn't find soft, mushy muffins, and you certainly wouldn't find a glass of sweet condensed milk. Why? Because of some terrible advice I've heard for decades. You're getting older, your teeth are weak, your stomach is sensitive. Stick to soft foods. Eat oatmeal. It's easier to digest. Wrong. That is a deadly mistake. Today I am sitting here to tell you a hard truth. Eating that soft, easy to swallow food is actually the fastest way to turn your body into a rusty, broken down machine. Let's be honest with each other. Do you wake up every morning feeling stiff, like a door that desperately needs oiling? Do your knees click and pop every time you step out of bed? Or even scarier, is it the brain fog? You are holding your keys in your hand, but you are tearing the house apart, looking for them. You start a sentence and forget the words halfway through. Your mind feels cloudy and slow. I am 76 years old. Instead of slurping down mush, I still eat steak, and I still crunch on walnuts every single day. My memory is just as sharp as it was when I was 40. I don't have superhero genes. My only secret is this. 10 years ago, I kicked 3 silent killers out of my diet. These 3 things might be sitting in your fridge right now, disguised as convenient food. Today, I am going to name them, so you can stop poisoning your body immediately. Before we talk about the food, I want you to clearly understand who the enemy inside your body is. Doctors call it inflammation. It sounds like a complicated medical term, but it is actually very simple. Look at your finger. When you accidentally cut yourself with a knife, what happens? The wound swells up, turns red, and feels a bit hot, right? That is good inflammation. Your body is sending soldiers to kill bacteria and stitch the wound back together. After a few days, the finger heals and the swelling disappears. That is a wonderful defense mechanism. But chronic inflammation is completely different. Imagine that swelling, that redness and heat isn't happening on your finger, but right inside your blood vessels, inside your brain, and inside your knee joints. And the scariest part is, it never turns off. It is like there is a pile of charcoal smoldering inside your body. You can't see it, but day after day, the heat from that fire is slowly cooking your internal organs and rotting your bones from the inside out. Our bodies are very smart, but they are also very naive. When you eat toxic foods, the body views them as invaders. It triggers an alarm. Poison detected. Attack now. And so it creates inflammation to defend itself. If you eat those things once in a while, it's fine. But if you are feeding yourself those things for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, then your body is constantly in a state of war. That fire of inflammation will burn 24/7. So, who are these enemies? They are these 3 extremely familiar foods. The first enemy, and also the most seductive one, is refined sugar. Now, wait a minute. Don't click away saying, "Oh, Peggy, I don't eat candy bars. I haven't touched a soda in years." Refined sugar is sneaky. It is a master of disguise. It's not just in the sugar bowl. It is hiding in that healthy whole wheat bread you toast every morning. It is in the fruit-flavored yogurt. It is in the pasta sauce, the salad dressing, and even in the coleslaw. Why do I call it an assassin? Because of a process called glycation. When you eat sugar, it travels into your bloodstream and attaches itself to proteins. Think of it like caramelizing sugar in a pan. It gets sticky and hard. Inside your body, this sticky sugar gums up your joints and makes your collagen brittle. That is why people with high sugar diets have stiff knees and deep wrinkles. So remember this, sugar is sweet on the tongue, but bitter in the bones. Every teaspoon you add is like throwing gasoline on the fire of inflammation. The second enemy, and I bet 90% of American kitchens have this sitting on the counter right now, industrial seed oils. I am talking about soybean oil, corn oil, canola oil, cottonseed oil, and sunflower oil. For decades, we were told these vegetable oils were heart healthy. That was a lie. Think about it. A corn kernel is not oily. A soybean is not oily. To get oil out of them, manufacturers use high heat, intense pressure, and harsh chemical solvents like hexane. Then they bleach it and deodorize it. By the time that bottle hits the grocery store shelf, the oil inside is already oxidized and rancid. And the worst part? They are loaded with omega-6 fatty acids. When your body has too much omega-6 and not enough omega-3, it triggers a massive inflammatory response. It's like a constant alarm bell ringing in your cells. So what did I do? I threw them all in the trash. I went back to the traditional fats my grandmother used, extra virgin olive oil for my salads, avocado oil for high heat cooking, and yes, real grass-fed butter. Do not be afraid of real butter. Be afraid of that plastic tub of margarine. Butter feeds your brain. Industrial oil just feeds the fire. And finally, the third enemy, ultra-processed food. Frozen TV dinners, hot dogs, boxed cereals, instant noodles, anything that comes in a crinkly package. I call this the fake food. Why? Because your body doesn't recognize it as food. When you eat a hot dog loaded with nitrates, preservatives, and fillers, your immune system looks at it and screams, "What is this invader? Attack it." I have a golden rule for grocery shopping, and I want you to write this down. If it was made in a plant, don't eat it. If it was made on a plant, eat it. Also, check the expiration date. If a food product has a shelf life of 2 years, don't put it in your body. Real food is alive. Real food rots. If bacteria won't eat it, why should you? Eat things that were born from the earth and die within a week. That is how you stay alive. So, if I threw out the toast and the sugary cereal, what do I eat? Do I starve? Absolutely not. I love eating. My philosophy is simple. Eat the rainbow and fat is your friend. Let's start with breakfast. For years, I forced myself to eat plain oatmeal because they said it was heart healthy. But honestly, it just made me sleepy and hungry again by 10 a.m. Now, my breakfast is a power meal. 2 eggs for the protein to keep my muscles strong. Half an avocado. This is the good fat that my brain needs to think clearly. A handful of blueberries. These little guys are like fire extinguishers for inflammation. When I eat this, I don't feel tired. I feel like I just put premium gas in my car. For lunch, I focus on one thing: lubricating my joints. If your knees creak when you walk, listen to this. I try to eat fatty fish at least 3 times a week. Salmon is great, but honestly, I love sardines. They are cheap, they are wild caught, and they are packed with omega-3. Think of omega-3 as the oil that stops your hinges from squeaking. I pair the fish with a big bowl of dark leafy greens, spinach, kale, or broccoli. I drizzle it with olive oil and lemon juice. No fancy bottled dressing, just simple, real food. Now, here is the most important secret about dinner. It's not just what I eat, it's when I eat. I have a rule. The kitchen closes at 6 p.m. Why? Because digestion takes a lot of energy. If I eat a heavy meal at 8 p.m. and go to bed at 10 p.m., my body spends the whole night working to digest that food. It doesn't have time to fix my cells. But if I stop eating at 6 p.m., my body has time to rest. While I sleep, the repair crew comes out to fix the damage in my brain and my body. So keep dinner light. Maybe some grilled chicken and steamed vegetables, and finish early. Finally, do I ever cheat? Do I miss sweets? Of course. I am human, not a robot, but I snack smart. My favorite treat is dark chocolate and walnuts. It is bitter, crunchy, and delicious. Dark chocolate is actually good for your heart, and walnuts are shaped like a brain for a reason. They are great for your memory, you see. You don't have to suffer to be healthy. You just have to choose real food. My friends, let me ask you one final question. Imagine you owned $1 million vintage car, a Rolls Royce, or a classic Mustang. Would you pull up to a gas station and pump cheap, dirty sludge into the tank? Would you pour sand into the engine? Absolutely not. You would polish it. You would give it the most premium fuel available because you value it. So why, tell me, why do we treat our own bodies like a garbage disposal? Your body is the only house you will ever truly own. You cannot trade it in. You cannot buy a new one. Yet, every time we mindlessly eat processed junk, we are essentially throwing trash into the engine of a priceless vehicle. It took me a long time to realize this. Eating healthy is not about losing weight. It is about self-respect. When you choose the grilled salmon over the hot dog, you are saying, I respect myself enough to fuel my cells with the best. When you say no to that second slice of cake, you are saying, I love my knees more than I love that 5 seconds of sweetness. Your body is a temple, not a trash can. Stop treating it like one. Now, I don't expect you to change your entire life overnight. That is too hard. So I have a small challenge for you. I call it the 7-Day Anti-Rust Challenge. For the next 1 week, just 7 days, I want you to cut out added sugar, no soda, no cookies, no sugar in your coffee. Read the labels. That's it. Just 1 week. I promise you, by day 7, you will wake up and realize your knees don't hurt as much. The brain fog will lift. You will feel lighter. We cannot stop the clock. I am 76, and I will get older every day. But we can choose how we age. We can age in pain, sitting in a chair, or we can age with vitality, dancing in the kitchen. The choice is right there on the end of your fork. Remember, you are what you eat. Eat clean, live strong, and age proudly. See you in the next video.